it's Cindy and Brooke.
We're here to share with you an exercise video. Exercise is so important, isn't it?
Yeah, in mental health and physical health, whether you're looking to lose weight or better your sleep patterns or have mental clarity, the list goes on.
Oh my gosh, it balances your circadian rhythm. I know all of you out there are having sleep issues. I know I am. The other thing too is like as we get older, our bones get weaker, and we need to make sure that we're keeping those loaded by strength training and really in functional movements. And that's what we're going to do today. Because if you go to, we've got a gym here, we've got all the types of equipment. So most of you have access to gyms that have machines like leg presses and leg curls and leg extensions. But if you think about real life, when do you ever mimic that activity? So what we're here to do today is share with you just a really quick foundational routine that is going to mimic more activities that you'd be doing in real life to help you set up for success down the road.
Yeah, we want to hit the major muscle groups. We want to make sure we work your body, but also not take a lot of your time, because we also don't have a lot of time.
Who has time?
I know, to do all of that. And more efficient. It's better for your body. We're going to get your heart rate up. We're going to get those muscles working, and it's easier and less stress on your body when we compact it into an efficient workout as well.
I would like to call them express workouts.
There you go.
It's like there's nothing better than an express anything.
Yes.
Don't need to take time in the kitchen, don't need to take time in the gym, but you do got to take time.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to do today.
Perfect. Let's get started.
All right, guys, we're starting with a warm-up. So I'm going to do the treadmill, but you can choose any type of cardio activity that you would like, whether it's on your bike, or maybe it's on an elliptical, or it's in the pool, or maybe outside your house. Maybe you have a hill outside your house, or beautiful trails.
Or an outdoor bike, or whatever you have availability to.
Absolutely. So I'm choosing a treadmill, but we want you to first get started with warming up your muscles. So getting into the strength aspects and even the cardio aspects, we want to prevent any type of injury. We want to increase range of motion, and we want your body just to feel like it knows what you're getting into. So get those muscles warm. This is meant to slowly increase as you move forward. So we want to do about 5 to 8 minutes of a gentle warm-up. I'm just going to walk for a little while. I usually will increase the speed throughout my 5 minutes or so that I go. And then once I feel like my muscles are warm, so in the summer it might be faster, in the winter it might take longer, but once I feel like they're warm, then I'm gonna get ready right into the cardio, and we're gonna demonstrate some HIIT cardio. So this is more of, I should explain, it's high intensity interval training. So what we're gonna do is push your body really hard for a short period of time and then recover for a longer period of time. This really allows your body to get pushed into that stress mode, to the good kind of stress, to get your body, your system
burning fat more effectively, you're reducing stress. Because think of it as that, I like to always say it's a mimicker of stress.
Yes.
Because it's a fight or flight. You fight in flight by going fast or hard, and then you come back and you recover. The thing is, we just never recover in life, right?
Yes.
So here's our opportunity.
The recovery is the most important. So we're going to push it into that healthy stress. We're going to come back. We're going to recover. And we want you to do 8 rounds of the high intensity interval that I'll demonstrate here. So it's going to be 30 seconds of push as hard as you can go. And then a minute and a half, 90 seconds of recovery. So this could mean maybe you're walking up the hill outside for 30 seconds and then you walk down the hill for a minute and a half. Or maybe you're on your bike and you push yourself with speed. Or on the treadmill, it could be incline, where you increase the incline and you're walking uphill for 30 seconds and getting your heart rate going, and then bringing it back down. Or it could be speed there too. So in any sort of practice that you're doing, it can be any type of push that gets your heart rate up, gets your body really working hard.
And just a tip, because if you're on a machine, you can see the time. But if you're not on a machine, there are a lot of apps that you can download actually that are HIIT interval or just timers. So that you can, not that we want you to keep your phone with you at all times of the day, but there are interval timers that you can use to help guide you. So you know, how long do I need to sprint and how long do I get to recover?
Absolutely. So I'm feeling warm. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you an incline today just for the sake of me talking while exercising. And I'm going to bump up the incline and I'm going to bump up the speed a little bit. And I'm going to go hard for 30 seconds. So whatever it takes for you to get your heart rate up, to feel like you're out of breath, like you can't talk while you're doing it.
Good Good job.
Well, I could be pushing myself harder. So you walk and get your body going, get to feel the blood in all of your extremities, get warm, and then we'll recover. And I want you to do 8 rounds of this. So 30 seconds on, a minute and a half off, 8 times.
Yes, and while she's doing this, because one of the reasons why we do HIIT is a lot of what we talked about. We got a little bit of a time added bonus to our treadmill here, but we want to remember that HIIT, it doesn't take very long, and it does actually mimic that stress response. So it's better for our body to really activate the muscles, the cell response to insulin and blood sugar, mental health, and then it doesn't take a whole lot of time either, because actually long sustained cardio is more stressful on the body. You create a lot more inflammation. We already know we have enough inflammation going on, our hormones are imbalanced. This is one of the best ways to tackle it cardio-wise. So Brooke, how many times a week do you suggest doing this type of cardio?
You know, I would suggest doing it depending on your goals, but I don't want to stress your body out. I would say 3 times. You know, just don't do it every day. Don't do it back to back. This is not meant to be your everyday workout because it is intense.
Yeah.
It's meant to push yourself and challenge yourself in that area of your fitness and focus on strength training and stretching and mobility on the other days.
Awesome. Hey guys, one more thing before we get into the cardio. Wanted to let you know that this exercise routine and guidance is another service that we offer through the business. You may not have known that, but it is such a critical and integral part of your comprehensive program. And it doesn't matter if you're new to exercise and afraid to start. Believe us, we've been there. Or you've been doing this for a long time, but you know that you're not getting the same results that you've gotten in the past. There's a reason why. And so we want to help personalize this for you by assessing posture, movement, what kind of equipment do you have access to, what time do you have access to. And we'll help you build that program that's going to be effective for you in no time. Hey guys, we're into the strength workout time. We're going to do 2 blocks of 3 exercises, an upper body, a lower body, and a core exercise. Again, less is more, but we want to challenge our body. You can see that I'm barefoot. I'm a big advocate of going barefoot when I do my workouts, provided that it's safe, just because our feet are our foundation to health. So the more that we use our feet to stabilize us, that goes all the way up to our neck. But if you have feet issues, definitely be wearing shoes like Brooke will have on.
Yes.
So we're gonna start with a push-up, and then we're gonna go into a core exercise, and then we're gonna do squats. So we're gonna try to utilize what you would have access at home. Ideally, it would be great to have a set of dumbbells or a couple if you have the space. They do have the new dumbbells that you can actually grow with. So it's 1 set, and you can start with a lower weight and you can add on weights. So if you are limited in your space, or you can use an exercise tube that has the handles. So that is also something you can use. So today with the push-ups, and so the blocks, you're gonna ideally do 3 sets of each exercise. We're gonna do upper, core, lower, come back upper, lower, or core, lower, and 30 seconds. And why we're doing a timed block is because human nature is we're focused on numbers. So if we say do 8 to 12 reps or until you're fatigued, we get to 12 whether we're fatigued or not, we're gonna stop. So we're gonna kind of bust that myth, and we're gonna use more of a timed effect.
So we're gonna do 30 seconds for each exercise.
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you, not total.
Yes.
Not total. So 30 seconds for each. Again, an app that you can get on your phone that's a timer works the best because you can put it right down where you are and you can see it. So the first thing is a push-up. And so I am going to show it. Ideally, you can do it on your hands. You're just gonna bring your fingertips pointing in slightly. You're gonna be up on your knees if you're new to this. So body nice and straight. We wanna prevent it from sinking or pushing back. So nice straight body from shoulders to knees. We're gonna inhale, bring our chest to the floor. Exhale, push up. Inhale and exhale. So breathing is critical. Make sure you're breathing. It's gonna keep your oxygen flowing so that you can burn more calories, and it's gonna keep your blood pressure regulated. So inhale and exhale. If that's hard on your wrists, that's where these come in. So then you can use your set of dumbbells and you can keep your wrists nice and straight versus putting that pressure on. So same movement, inhale and exhale. If this is easy, Or you've been doing this well, come up to your toes. Inhale. Oh, jeez.
And if you get to the end of the 30 seconds and this is way too easy, then we have to find ways to challenge.
Yes. So that's the first exercise. Second, we're gonna come down for what we call like a lateral crunch. So all exercises for the core, you really wanna focus on drawing the belly button in and flattening your low back against the floor. Pads are nice, especially if you have a hard floor like this. So by doing this movement, you're actually training what's called a transverse abdominis, which is your own internal girdle. How can you get better than that? So you're gonna keep your heels about hip distance apart, a little bit away. You're gonna tuck in, you're gonna lift up, and you're gonna reach for that right heel. Come up, exhale. Inhale, center, exhale here. So your low back should be into the ground the whole time. So inhale, exhale. So we're getting those external obliques. The six pack, this is a good start.
Absolutely. And if it's too easy, you can move your feet either further away from you if it's too easy. If it's too hard, move those feet in closer, just so you get the full exercise that you need for the 30 seconds.
And then you can find other people really tight in the side of it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the second exercise. All right, come with me, guys. We're making full resources available for whatever you have at home. Most people have stairs. Hopefully it is carpeted. So if you bring your legs, the squats, why we're doing this is because a squat, it's like sitting down in a little preschool chair. But our postures, because we sit most of the day, is not good. We tend to have a hunched back and our forward head. Our hip flexors are extremely tight. So what that makes us do is squat like that, so hard on the posture. So here, it forces us to sit back and up. So we wanna sit back, touch, inhale. So we're gonna, inhale here, exhale. So you're exhaling whenever it's difficult. So now I'm sitting down, so you can do that if you're new to it. Once you get familiar with it, you wanna just touch and then up.
And notice how her knees aren't going past her toes. That's very important.
And that's that whole thing about sitting back. Because you're right, otherwise our inclination is to squat like that. So you want to keep your foot down, a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. You might want to have a little outward pointing of the toes. Inhale and exhale. Now if that gets to a point where it's easy, you can take your dumbbells like this and just hold it right at your chest level. And so now you're adding a little more resistance to get up. So inhaling and exhaling. So remember, 3 sets, take a little break in between each. We went kind of fast between. Little break between, 30 seconds, each exercise, 3 times.
Okay, on to the second block of your exercise. So we're gonna hit those same big muscle groups again, a little bit different muscles, but we're gonna work through an upper body, a core, and a lower body again. You will notice we still want you to do 30 seconds of each exercise 3 times through. But the legs, the lower body portion, we're doing lunges. So that means that there's 30 seconds on each side. So this one's gonna be just a little bit longer.
60 seconds.
Yes, 60 seconds with your legs. So we're gonna get started with your upper body first. So this exercise is gonna be the back flex. It's gonna work a lot of your back muscles. So I actually like to look at, there's a mirror over here, and I like to look at the side mirror so I can see my back posture, because you want your back to be straight. And I'll show you guys this way, but you want your back to be straight, you want your core tight, your belly button pulled into your core while you're doing this exercise. What we don't want is to be like this or hunched over like Cindy mentioned how we typically are. So we're gonna start with the weights down low, choose a weight again that's challenging, and we're going to pull them back and squeeze when you get to the top. So imagine someone putting their hand right between your shoulder blades, and you just wanna squeeze it as you come up. So when you pull back as you're trying to exhale as well. So exhale and inhale, and exhale and inhale. So we're gonna do that again for 30 seconds, making sure that you have a strong enough weight that is challenging for you, or heavy enough weight. So then we'll go into your core exercise, which is going to be a plank move. So there's lots of different ways to do planks. If you're new, then I would suggest starting on your knees. So on your forearms and your knees, we want you to feel like you have that straight line again throughout your body. So you can hold this for 30 seconds, making sure that you're not like this and not like this, but then it is a little bit of a challenge. Now, if you get to the point where this is too easy for you, then I would suggest certainly going up onto your toes. Now, I'll also mention that if you want to, you can use your hands. I don't think it's any easier one way or the other. I think it's just personal preference based on what feels best on your arms and your shoulders, but this is also an option. The point being, you want to pull that ab, your belly button, again to your spine and push through the heels of your feet so you can kind of feel the strength along the back of your body as well. So again, you can do it on your hands or on your forearms. The other option, if you really want to get to be advanced, is switching between your hands and your forearms. So you could, for 30 seconds, move up, up, down, down.
Oh, Brooke.
Up, up, down, down. Just be sure that if you're doing that, you're rotating your arms. So don't always go up with your right first, down with your right first. Mix that up. And then the last exercise we're gonna do again is lower body. So this is where you're gonna have technically 2 movements, 30 seconds each. And I really like to have them here, if you can have one here. Again, the posture you have while doing this is really important. So I look over to the side, but I'll show you guys this way. The best way to start, actually, let's show without weights. Before you get into that, if you're new to anything like this, we want to make sure you're doing everything without weights. So getting the right lunge form means that your feet are hip width distance apart. So you're not on a balance beam, you're more like on railroad tracks, okay? So your toes are facing forward, and you're just gonna bend down so that your knee basically comes down to the ground. You've got 90-degree angles both directions. And come up, and just keep stationary. So you can go down and up for 30 seconds. Then, of course, the next exercise will be switching to your other leg. If that's too easy, then we'll want to use weights. So, I'm getting out of breath, you guys.
And see how straight her spine is too, so she's not leaning forward or back.
Yep, again.
Keeping the belly button drawn in.
Shoulders back, making sure we don't have that hunched posture. Good point. So go down and up, and down and up. And if this is too easy for you, you can also step out. So whether you're doing step back lunges, where you're going down and up, and then bringing it back, you could also step forward. They work different muscle groups. So stepping forward and down and back. So in that case, you would do the same leg for the 30 seconds. And down and up. And keeping that posture. But we don't want you to advance if your posture is, what's the word I'm looking for?
Altered and
Yeah, absolutely. If your posture is not great, then we want you to go back to the previous option. Oh, I'm tired.
Great job, Brooke. Guys, the last segment is stretching. So now you've worked your muscles, you're gonna feel a little bit of tightness. So just to help get you through the next couple of days till you do it again, ideally, just as Brooke mentioned with the HIIT cardio every other day, same thing with strength. I usually recommend at minimum 2 times a week. 3 times is even better. That's how we're gonna really grow and expand. And if you're new to it, you're gonna notice a quick advancement in regards to your strength. So stretching, some of the more commonly tight areas is gonna be across the chest, because we're like this all day at the computer at our desk. Also the hip flexor, so the front of the hip because we're sitting, and also the hamstrings for the same reason. So those are the 3 that we're gonna stretch today. So all you need is a doorway. So you just bring your forearms up against the sides of the door, elbows in line with the shoulder, and you're just gonna lean in. So that's gonna give you a nice stretch across the chest. If you wanna isolate, which I kinda like because you can get a bigger stretch across one side, is just do 1 at a time. So take your time, you don't wanna be pushing, you just want a nice, slow, gradual stretch. I would hold it for about 30 seconds if you can. So do that for your chest, and then for your hamstrings, one that we like is where you're gonna come into a split stance and you're gonna come back and stretch through that outer.
Make sure your toe that is up is flexed so that you can feel that in the back in your hamstring.
So if it's like this, you're not gonna really feel a whole lot, however I do. Bring your toes up.
Yeah.
You can even feel it into the inner thigh.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do both sides. So So just, and you'll probably notice one side might be a little bit tighter than the other. Feel free to do that tighter side twice. So start with that, go to the other side, then come back. And then the last one is, oh, I was kidding. We're gonna be up on the knees.
Oh, yeah.
So this is for the front of the hip. So here you got one leg forward, so you're kind of in that split stance again. You're gonna tilt your pelvis forward, so hip tucks down, and then you lean in. So you're gonna feel a big stretch across that front of your thigh and your hip. So just hold that if you can for about 20 to 30 seconds. Tuck, and then lean forward, keeping the hips facing forward.
These aren't also just great for exercise. They're also really great in the middle of your workday. If you just need a refresher, I go through these 3 stretches and it makes me feel completely better.
Yes, just getting up and moving is critical, especially if you are working at a desk all day.
Yeah.
So that is a nice quick workout. Hopefully that will give you some inspiration and guidance. So feel free to pull this video anytime you need. And if you want more personal guidance, like if you know, oh, that's not quite where I am quite yet, or I need something a little bit more personalized, please reach out. We're happy to help. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hi.
It's Cindy and Brooke, and we're